Adversity often seems like an unwelcome visitor in our lives. We tend to resist it, question it, and sometimes feel abandoned in the midst of it. But what if I told you that every challenge you face has a divine purpose? What if adversity is not something to fear, but something to embrace because it is part of a greater plan, one designed for your growth and ultimate fulfillment? Adversity, in its very essence, acts as a refining tool in our lives. When we encounter hardship, it's easy to see it as something negative, something meant to hold us back. However, if we change our perspective, we realize that adversity is not an obstacle, but rather a means of shaping us into the individuals we are destined to become. Just as raw material must undergo a process of refinement to reveal its true value, so too must we experience challenges to unlock our fullest potential. Imagine a piece of gold ore freshly extracted from the earth. It is rough, unpolished, and far from the gleaming metal we associate with purity and worth. To reach that state, it must go through an intense process of refining, subjected to extreme heat, melted down and purified. The heat removes impurities, and the gold emerges from the process more valuable, stronger, and transformed. In the same way, adversity in our lives is the metaphorical furnace that burns away the superficial aspects of our personality, habits, and beliefs, leaving behind the essence of who we truly are. When life is easy, when everything flows smoothly, we rarely take the time to reflect on our inner selves. Comfort often leads to complacency, and in that state there is little motivation for personal growth. It is only when we are met with resistance that we are forced to confront who we are at our core. Adversity has a way of peeling back the layers of who we think we are, revealing the unrefined parts of our character, those parts that need growth, understanding, or a shift in perspective. In this way, challenges serve as mirrors, reflecting back to us the areas in our lives that need refining. Furthermore, adversity teaches us patience. In the heat of a challenge, it may seem like the process is too long or too painful. Yet it is through this endurance that we learn to trust the process, to realize that transformation does not happen overnight. The discomfort that comes with adversity forces us to confront our limitations and weaknesses, but it also gives us the chance to expand beyond them. The longer we stay in the heat, the more refined we become. There is also an emotional and spiritual refining that occurs during adversity. When we are tested, we become more resilient, learning to navigate not only external obstacles, but also the internal ones, our fears, doubts, and insecurities. As we move through difficulties, we begin to understand that adversity is often less about the external situation and more about how we choose to respond to it. This realization is profound because it teaches us that true growth is an inside job. The external challenge merely serves as a catalyst for the inner transformation that must take place. This process of refinement often uncovers strengths we never knew we had. It shows us that we are capable of far more than we ever imagined. When everything is stripped away, when we are in the fire of adversity, we realize that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by our capacity to rise above them. The strength that is uncovered in the process becomes a permanent part of who we are. Just like gold that has been refined, it cannot return to its previous state. It has been forever altered, elevated, and purified. Adversity also deepens our empathy and understanding. As we face our own struggles, we become more compassionate toward others who are facing theirs. This shared experience of challenge and transformation connects us on a deeper level, creating a sense of unity and mutual respect. When we recognize that everyone is undergoing their own process of refinement, we are less likely to judge and more likely to offer support and encouragement. This is another way in which adversity serves to refine not only the individual, but also the collective consciousness of humanity. Adversity is not something to be feared or avoided. It is a necessary part of the journey toward becoming who we truly are. Like gold in the fire, we are being refined, shaped, and transformed into a version of ourselves that is stronger, purer, and more aligned with our true nature. The process may be uncomfortable, even painful at times, but the result is a more authentic, empowered self. In the end, it is through adversity that we discover our true strength, resilience, and worth. Divine timing plays a crucial role in the struggles we face throughout life. Often we encounter difficult situations, we feel impatient or frustrated, wondering why things aren't going according to our plans. But what we fail to realize in the midst of these struggles is that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, according to a greater, divine plan that we may not yet fully understand. There is an order to the universe, an underlying rhythm that guides events, and sometimes adversity comes at precisely the right moment to align us with a higher purpose. In the heat of struggle, it is common to feel as though the timing is wrong. You might think, why is this happening now? Or I'm not ready to deal with this. But what if the timing is perfect, even if it doesn't align with what you had envisioned? Divine timing operates beyond the confines of our linear understanding of time. It doesn't conform to the timelines we set for ourselves, because it is orchestrated on a much grander scale, one that takes into account not just our immediate desires, but our long-term growth and evolution. When we are in the midst of a struggle, it can be hard to trust that there is a purpose behind it. Yet struggles often come when we are on the verge of significant transformation. They are not random, they are markers that signal that something larger is taking place. These challenges are designed to push us to new levels of awareness, strength, and understanding. If we view adversity through the lens of divine timing, we start to see struggles not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth that are arriving exactly when they are supposed to. There is a deeper wisdom in the universe that knows precisely what you need at any given moment, even when it doesn't make sense to you at the time. Struggles appear not to hinder you, but to prepare you for something greater. Divine timing ensures that the lessons we need to learn come into our lives when we are capable of receiving them, even if we don't feel ready. It may be uncomfortable, but discomfort is often the birthplace of transformation. The universe never gives us more than we can handle, though it may stretch us beyond our current limits so that we can grow. Consider how many times in your life you faced adversity, only to realize later that it was exactly what you needed to propel you forward. In hindsight, it becomes clear that struggles were perfectly timed to either shift your perspective, prepare you for a future opportunity, or redirect you toward a path more aligned with your true purpose. Divine timing is always working in your favor, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. The delays, the setbacks, the moments of doubt and fear, they are all part of a much larger, more intricate plan that is unfolding in its own time. Struggles often come right before breakthroughs. This is a key element of divine timing. Just when you think you cannot take any more, just when the pressure feels unbearable, that is usually the moment when you are on the cusp of something incredible. The struggle is the universe's way of preparing you for what's coming. It is during these moments that you are being tested, refined, and made stronger so that when the breakthrough arrives, you are ready to step into the new chapter fully equipped. Patience is a virtue often learned through struggles. Divine timing requires us to surrender our need for control and trust that the universe knows what it's doing. When we try to force things to happen on our schedule, we often end up frustrated and stuck. But when we trust that there is a larger timing at work, we can find peace even in the midst of challenges. Struggles then become less about enduring pain and more about learning to trust the process. They teach us patience, resilience, and faith in a timing that is far more perfect than anything we could orchestrate ourselves. Ultimately, divine timing reminds us that nothing in our lives happens by chance. Every struggle is placed in our path for a reason, and it arrives at the exact moment we need it. Whether it's to teach us a lesson, prepare us for a future opportunity, or redirect us toward something greater, struggles are perfectly timed to help us grow into the best version of ourselves. The key is learning to trust that timing, even when it feels inconvenient or painful, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should in the grand design of life. Strengthening your faith is one of the most profound outcomes of facing adversity. When we encounter challenges, we often question why they happen and whether we are capable of overcoming them. But these moments of uncertainty are precisely when our faith is being tested and ultimately strengthened. Faith is not just belief in something greater, it is the trust that no matter how difficult the circumstances, there is a purpose behind them, and we have the inner resources to rise above them. Adversity becomes a tool that deepens our trust in the unseen, helping us build a stronger foundation of faith that sustains us through any storm. When life is smooth, faith often feels like an abstract concept, something we may not need to call upon with much urgency. However, in times of struggle, faith takes center stage. It is easy to have faith when everything is going well, but real faith is forged in the fire of difficulty. When we are met with situations beyond our control, that is when our belief in something greater is truly tested. In those moments, we are called to lean into our faith, to trust that, even though we cannot see how things will work out, there is a plan unfolding for our benefit. Adversity forces us to rely on faith in ways we may never have imagined. It strips away the illusion that we can control everything and reminds us that there is a greater power at work, guiding us through life's challenges. This surrender to faith doesn't mean giving up, rather. It means letting go of the need to know exactly how things will resolve and trusting that they will. In this way, adversity becomes a crucible for strengthening our belief in the unseen forces that shape our lives. Moreover, adversity often reveals the depth or lack of our faith. When faced with difficulties, we come face to face with our doubts and fears. These moments of doubt are not meant to break us, but to challenge us to dig deeper into our faith. It is through this process of confronting and working through our doubts that our faith becomes stronger. Like a muscle that grows stronger through resistance, faith grows more robust each time it is tested. With each challenge we face and overcome, our belief in ourselves and the greater power at play is fortified. Strengthening your faith during adversity also means learning to see the bigger picture. In the midst of a challenge, it is easy to become consumed by the present struggle. However, faith encourages us to look beyond the immediate situation and trust that there is a larger divine plan at work. Even when we can't understand why something is happening, faith tells us that every experience is part of our journey toward growth and fulfillment. The more we strengthen our faith, the more we are able to remain grounded in this larger perspective, no matter what difficulties arise. In times of adversity, faith also becomes a source of inner strength. When everything around you seems uncertain, faith provides an anchor, a sense of stability that allows you to move forward even when the path ahead is unclear. This inner strength is not something that comes from external circumstances, but from a deep, unwavering trust in the divine order of things. The more you cultivate this inner strength, the less reliant you become on external validation or control, knowing that everything you need is already within you and will be revealed at the right time. Another aspect of strengthening your faith is learning to trust in your own resilience. Faith is not just about believing in a higher power, but also about believing in your own ability to navigate challenges. Adversity provides the perfect environment for discovering this resilience. When faced with difficulties, you realize that you are capable of far more than you ever thought possible. This realization reinforces your faith in yourself and your ability to rise above any situation. Each time you overcome a challenge, your faith grows stronger, not only in the divine but also in your own inner strength. Adversity reminds us that faith is a practice, not a one-time decision. Strengthening your faith requires consistent effort, especially in moments of doubt. It requires choosing to believe in a higher purpose, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. The more you practice this choice, the more natural it becomes to rely on faith as your guiding force, allowing you to face life's challenges with grace and resilience. Through this process, adversity transforms from a source of suffering into an opportunity for deepening your trust in both the divine and yourself. Alignment with divine will is a profound realization that brings clarity to the struggles and challenges we face in life. When we understand that there is a higher purpose guiding every aspect of our journey, we begin to see adversity not as something random or punishing, but as a necessary part of our alignment with that divine purpose. The idea of divine will suggests that there is a greater plan for our lives, one that is woven into the fabric of existence, and that our challenges are integral to the unfolding of this plan. At times, life's difficulties feel overwhelming, and we may wonder why we are being met with such obstacles. In moments of adversity, it can be tempting to question our path, or even feel as though we have been abandoned by that higher power. However, adversity often serves as a catalyst for deeper alignment with divine will. It is through facing these challenges that we are called to reevaluate our desires, motivations, and actions, aligning them more closely with our true purpose. These moments of difficulty act as course corrections, guiding us toward a path that is more in harmony with the greater good. When we think of alignment with divine will, it is important to understand that this is not about passively accepting our circumstances or resigning ourselves to suffering. Rather, it is about actively seeking to understand the purpose behind our experiences and choosing to align our thoughts, beliefs, and actions with that higher purpose. Often adversity arises because we are out of alignment in some way, whether through fear, doubt, or attachment to certain outcomes. These struggles then become opportunities for us to release what no longer serves us and realign with the flow of divine will. Adversity acts as a mirror, reflecting back to us the areas where we may be resisting this divine flow. Resistance often manifests as fear, doubt, or the need to control outcomes, all of which pull us out of alignment with the divine. When we face struggles, we are being invited to let go of that resistance and trust in the larger plan that is unfolding. By surrendering our need to control every aspect of our lives, we allow ourselves to move into a space of greater alignment, where we are no longer fighting against the current but flowing with it. This alignment does not mean that adversity will disappear, but it does shift how we experience it. When we are aligned with divine will, challenges no longer feel like burdens, but like necessary steps on our journey. We begin to see that every obstacle serves a higher purpose, helping us to grow, evolve, and move closer to our true potential. In this way, adversity becomes a teacher, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Aligning with divine will require trust in the process, in ourselves, and in the higher power guiding our lives. This trust is often tested in times of adversity, but it is precisely in these moments that our faith in the divine plan is strengthened. The more we align with divine will, the more we are able to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. We come to understand that everything, even our struggles, is part of a greater design, and that by aligning ourselves with that design, we are co-creating our lives in harmony with the universe. Adversity, then, is not something to be feared, but embraced as a crucial aspect of our alignment with divine will. Each challenge presents an opportunity to deepen our connection to that higher purpose, to release the need for control, and to trust in the unfolding of our lives. When we align with divine will, we recognize that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, and that every experience, no matter how difficult, serves a purpose in that larger plan. This alignment also brings with it a sense of peace, even in the midst of struggle. When we are in harmony with divine will, we are no longer driven by fear or the need to force outcomes. Instead, we are guided by a deep inner knowing that everything is happening as it should, in perfect timing. This doesn't mean that we won't face challenges, but it does mean that we will be better equipped to handle them, knowing that they are part of our journey toward greater alignment and fulfillment. Adversity is a tool that helps us realign with divine will. It strips away the illusions of control and forces us to confront the areas where we are out of sync with our higher purpose. By embracing these challenges and choosing to align with the divine flow, we open ourselves up to a life that is in greater harmony with the universe, where even our struggles serve as stepping stones toward a more meaningful and purposeful existence. Hidden blessings in adversity are often overlooked because the discomfort and pain of challenges tend to cloud our perception of what lies beneath. However, when we take the time to reflect on our struggles, we begin to realize that every challenge carries within it a gift, a lesson, or an opportunity for growth. Adversity, though difficult in the moment, often serves as the gateway to transformation. It's during these times of difficulty that we are forced to look beyond the surface and discover the deeper, often hidden, blessings that adversity brings. In many cases, adversity strips away what is unnecessary. When we face hardship, we are confronted with the reality of what truly matters. Our priorities shift, and we begin to see life through a more focused lens. The noise of trivial concerns fades away, and what remains is the clarity to see what is essential, whether it be relationships, personal values, or inner strength. Adversity often pushes us to simplify, to let go of the things we thought we needed, but in reality, were only weighing us down. In this way, adversity acts as a purifier, helping us to align with our true purpose and clearing the path for something greater. Adversity also uncovers hidden strengths that we may not have known we possessed. When life is easy, we rarely push ourselves beyond our comfort zones. It's in times of difficulty that we are forced to tap into resources within ourselves that we didn't realize were there. These inner reserves of strength, resilience, and determination only become apparent when we are tested. Adversity provides the opportunity to discover just how capable we are. Each time we overcome a challenge, we become more aware of our own power, which is one of the greatest hidden blessings that adversity can offer. Adversity often brings with it unexpected opportunities. While we may initially view challenges as obstacles, they often lead us in directions we wouldn't have explored otherwise. A setback in one area of life may open the door to new experiences, relationships, or career paths. It is through adversity that many people find their true calling, discover new passions, or develop deeper connections with others. What seems like a dead end in one moment can be the beginning of a new and better path. The hidden blessing here lies in the fact that adversity redirects us toward opportunities we might never have considered had we not been pushed out of our comfort zone. Another hidden blessing in adversity is the depth of empathy and compassion it fosters. When we face struggles, we gain a deeper understanding of the challenges that others may be going through. Adversity humbles us, reminding us that no one is immune to hardship, and in doing so, it opens our hearts to the suffering of others. This newfound empathy often leads to stronger connections and a greater willingness to help and support those around us. It is through our own struggles that we develop the capacity to be more compassionate and understanding, which is a blessing not only for ourselves, but for those we encounter along the way. Adversity also encourages us to seek deeper meaning in life. When everything is going smoothly, it's easy to remain on the surface, going through the motions of daily life without much reflection. However, when we face challenges, we are often forced to stop and question the bigger picture. What is the purpose of this struggle? What am I meant to learn from this? These questions lead us to explore the deeper aspects of life and to seek answers that go beyond the immediate circumstances. The hidden blessing here is the opportunity for spiritual growth and a greater understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Adversity can strengthen our relationships. While it's true that difficult times can strain relationships, they can also bring people closer together. When we go through hardships, we often rely on the support of those around us, and in turn, we offer our support to others. This mutual reliance deepens our connections and fosters a sense of unity and solidarity. The shared experience of overcoming challenges together strengthens the bonds between friends, family members, and even colleagues. In this way, adversity becomes a blessing that enhances our relationships and builds a network of support that can last a lifetime. One of the greatest hidden blessings in adversity is the sense of gratitude that often follows. After enduring hardship, we gain a new appreciation for the simple joys and comforts of life. What we once took for granted becomes a source of gratitude, whether it's our health, our relationships, or even the small victories we experience along the way. Adversity reminds us of the fleeting nature of life and encourages us to cherish the moments of peace, happiness, and fulfillment that we encounter. This shift in perspective is a profound blessing, as it allows us to live with a deeper sense of gratitude and awareness. While adversity is never easy, it is often through these difficult experiences that we uncover the hidden blessings that lead to personal growth, deeper relationships, and a more meaningful life. The key is to approach challenges with an open heart and mind, trusting that within every struggle lies an opportunity for transformation and the discovery of blessings we might not have otherwise found. Cultivating inner strength is one of the most profound outcomes of adversity. When we are faced with challenges, we are often forced to dig deep within ourselves, to draw upon reserves of resilience and determination that we may not have known existed. Adversity acts as a catalyst, pushing us to develop this inner strength that is necessary not only to overcome the present struggle, but also to face future challenges with greater confidence and composure. Inner strength is not something that is built overnight. It is forged in the fire of trials and tribulations, gradually becoming stronger with each obstacle we overcome. Every time we face adversity and choose to move forward rather than retreat into fear or despair, we are exercising this strength. This process can be painful and uncomfortable, as it often requires us to confront parts of ourselves that we had long avoided: our fears, insecurities, doubts, and limitations. Yet it is through this confrontation that inner strength is cultivated. When we encounter adversity, the initial reaction may be to feel powerless, as though the circumstances are beyond our control. However, adversity also presents us with a choice to either succumb to the difficulty or to rise above it. Cultivating inner strength begins with making the conscious decision to face the challenge head-on, even when the path forward is unclear. This decision alone is a powerful act, as it shifts the mindset from one of victimhood to one of empowerment. It is the first step in reclaiming agency over our own lives, no matter how daunting the situation may seem. As we face adversity and work through the challenges it brings, we learn valuable lessons about ourselves. We begin to see that we are stronger than we initially believed. Each time we push through discomfort, endure hardship, or persevere in the face of difficulty, we gain confidence in our ability to handle life's ups and downs. This confidence is a key component of inner strength that reassures us that we can survive and thrive, even when life doesn't go according to plan. Over time, this belief in our own resilience becomes unshakable, and we find ourselves better equipped to handle adversity in the future. In the process of cultivating inner strength, we also develop patience and endurance. Adversity often requires us to be patient, as solutions do not always present themselves immediately. The strength we build through these experiences is not just about surviving the immediate hardship, but about learning to endure difficult periods with grace and composure. Inner strength allows us to remain steady in the face of prolonged challenges, knowing that even though the struggle may be long, we have the resilience to see it through to the other side. Another important aspect of cultivating inner strength is learning to trust in ourselves. Adversity can be isolating, as we may feel that others do not fully understand what we are going through. However, this isolation can also be an opportunity to turn inward, to rely on our own inner resources rather than seeking validation or solutions from external sources. When we cultivate inner strength, we learn to trust our own judgment, intuition, and ability to navigate difficult situations. This trust in ourselves becomes a source of comfort and stability, even when external circumstances are uncertain or chaotic. Inner strength also involves emotional resilience, the ability to manage and process difficult emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Adversity often triggers feelings of fear, frustration, sadness, or anger, but inner strength allows us to acknowledge these emotions without being consumed by them. We learn to sit with discomfort, to face our emotions rather than suppressing them, and in doing so, we become emotionally stronger. This emotional resilience is crucial for maintaining mental and emotional balance during difficult times, and it enables us to approach adversity with a clearer, more focused mindset. Cultivating inner strength helps us develop a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in life. Adversity often forces us to reevaluate our priorities, values, and goals. It challenges us to ask difficult questions about what truly matters to us. As we navigate these struggles, we begin to find clarity about our purpose and the direction we want to take in life. Inner strength gives us the courage to pursue that purpose, even when the path is difficult. It helps us stay committed to our values and aspirations, even in the face of adversity, knowing that the challenges we encounter are part of the journey toward achieving our highest potential. Cultivating inner strength creates a ripple effect in other areas of our lives. The strength we build through adversity does not stay confined to that one area of challenge. It spreads into all aspects of our existence. We become more resilient in our relationships, our careers, and our personal endeavors. Inner strength allows us to approach life with a greater sense of stability and confidence, knowing that no matter what comes our way, we have the tools to face it. Adversity is the crucible in which inner strength is forged. Through each challenge, we become more resilient, more confident, and more attuned to our own inner resources. While the process of cultivating this strength is often difficult, the rewards are immeasurable. Inner strength becomes a guiding force in our lives, empowering us to face whatever challenges may come with courage, resilience, and a deep sense of purpose. Revelation through struggles is one of the most profound experiences we encounter in life. While adversity can initially seem like an insurmountable obstacle, it often serves as a pathway to deeper understanding and personal growth. Struggles have a unique way of revealing truths about ourselves, our circumstances, and the world around us that we might not have recognized in times of ease. They force us to confront reality, peeling back layers of illusion and comfort to expose what is genuine and meaningful beneath the surface. When we face struggles, we are pushed out of our comfort zones, which is where true revelation often occurs. Comfort breeds familiarity, and within familiarity, we often become complacent. Life flows predictably, and we may not feel the need to question our choices, beliefs, or values. However, when challenges arise, they shake us out of that complacency, forcing us to look at life with fresh eyes. Struggles compel us to ask questions we might not have asked otherwise. Why is this happening? What am I meant to learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? These questions lead to revelations about our true purpose, desires, and potential. In many ways, struggles serve as mirrors, reflecting back to us aspects of ourselves that we might have neglected or overlooked. They reveal our strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. During times of adversity, we often discover reservoirs of resilience and courage that we didn't know we possessed. We learn how much we are capable of enduring, how far we can stretch ourselves beyond what we thought were our limits. This revelation of inner strength is empowering, as it allows us to approach future challenges with a renewed sense of confidence and capability. On the other hand, struggles also reveal our vulnerabilities. They expose the areas where we may have been relying too heavily on external validation, material possessions, or superficial goals. In the face of adversity, these crutches often fall away, leaving us to confront the core of who we are. This can be uncomfortable, but it is also necessary for true growth. Struggles strip away the illusions we build around ourselves, the stories we tell to justify our weaknesses, or avoid facing our deepest fears. In doing so, they offer us the chance to rebuild ourselves on a foundation of truth rather than illusion. Struggles also reveal the power of perspective. During times of difficulty, we may initially view our circumstances as entirely negative, believing that we are being punished or that life is unfair. However, as we navigate the challenges, we often come to realize that our struggles are not punishments but opportunities for transformation. This shift in perspective is a revelation in itself, as it allows us to see adversity not as an enemy but as a teacher. When we approach struggles with this mindset, we open ourselves up to the lessons they bring, understanding that even in the midst of difficulty, there is value to be found. Through struggles, we also gain insight into the relationships and connections in our lives. Adversity has a way of revealing the true nature of the people around us. Some individuals may distance themselves during difficult times, while others step forward to offer support and encouragement. These experiences reveal who our true allies are, showing us which relationships are built on a solid foundation and which may have been superficial. Struggles deepen our understanding of the importance of genuine, authentic connections and remind us to nurture those relationships that truly matter. In addition to personal revelations, struggles often bring about a deeper understanding of life's purpose. When everything is going well, it's easy to lose sight of what we're truly here to accomplish. We can get caught up in the day-to-day routine, focusing on short-term goals or material achievements. However, struggles force us to pause and reflect on the bigger picture. They prompt us to ask ourselves, what is the deeper meaning behind my life's journey? What am I truly meant to contribute to the world? Through this process of reflection, we often gain clarity about our life's purpose, aligning ourselves more closely with our higher calling. Struggles also reveal the power of faith and trust in the process of life. When we are in the midst of difficulty, it can be hard to see the path forward or to believe that things will improve. However, struggles often push us to develop a deeper sense of faith in ourselves, faith in the universe, and faith in the idea that everything is happening for a reason. This revelation is one of the most powerful gifts of adversity, as it teaches us to surrender control and trust that even when we cannot see the full picture, there is a divine order to the events of our lives. Struggles reveal the importance of adaptability. Life is constantly changing, and challenges often arise when we resist that change. Struggles force us to adapt, to let go of rigid expectations and embrace the unknown. In doing so, they reveal the beauty of flexibility and the freedom that comes from releasing control. We learn to flow with life rather than against it, which leads to a deeper sense of peace and acceptance. The revelation that comes through struggles is one of profound transformation. We emerge from adversity with a clearer understanding of who we are, what we value, and what we are capable of. While the process of struggle is often painful, it is also a necessary part of the journey towards self-discovery and growth. Struggles, in their essence, are not obstacles to be avoided, but catalysts for the revelation of our true selves and the deeper meaning of our lives. Through them, we gain the wisdom, strength, and insight needed to move forward with purpose and clarity. Elevation through endurance is a profound transformation that occurs when we navigate through life's challenges with perseverance and determination. Endurance is not just about surviving hardships, it is about thriving in the face of adversity, using every obstacle as an opportunity to rise above and grow. In enduring struggles, we cultivate strength, patience, and wisdom, which elevate us to higher levels of consciousness and understanding. This elevation is both personal and spiritual, as it deepens our sense of purpose and connection to something greater than ourselves. When we endure adversity, we begin to see life from a broader perspective. Instead of being consumed by the immediate discomfort or pain of the situation, we develop the ability to step back and observe the bigger picture. Endurance teaches us to look beyond the surface of our struggles and recognize that they are temporary. This shift in perspective allows us to find meaning and purpose in what we are experiencing, which in turn elevates our mindset. We no longer view difficulties as something to be feared or avoided, but as necessary stepping stones on the path to personal growth and spiritual evolution. In enduring, we also build resilience, which is a key component of elevation. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to remain grounded and focused even when everything around us seems to be falling apart. As we face and overcome each challenge, our capacity to endure future hardships grows stronger. This resilience is not just physical or mental, but emotional and spiritual as well. We learn to hold steady in the face of uncertainty, trusting that every difficulty is an opportunity for elevation. The more we endure, the more we realize that our spirit cannot be broken by external circumstances. Endurance also fosters patience, which is essential for elevation. In a world that often demands immediate results and instant gratification, patience is a rare and valuable quality. It is through enduring long periods of struggle that we learn the art of waiting, of allowing things to unfold in their own time. Endurance teaches us that some of the most meaningful transformations in life cannot be rushed. The process of elevation often requires us to sit in discomfort, to accept uncertainty, and to trust that the outcome will be worth the wait. Patience, cultivated through endurance, gives us the strength to continue moving forward, even when progress seems slow or non-existent. As we endure, we also cultivate a deeper connection to our inner selves. Adversity often strips away the distractions of daily life, forcing us to confront our core beliefs, fears, and desires. In the process of enduring, we are given the opportunity to examine who we truly are at our essence. This self-reflection can be uncomfortable, but it is necessary for elevation. As we endure, we shed layers of ego, pride, and superficial concerns, allowing our authentic self to emerge. This inner clarity elevates us as we become more aligned with our true purpose and values. Endurance also leads to spiritual elevation. Many of the world's great spiritual traditions teach that suffering and endurance are paths to enlightenment. It is through enduring trials and tribulations that we are able to transcend the limitations of the material world and connect with the divine. When we endure with faith, we begin to see that our struggles are part of a greater plan, designed to lead us closer to our higher self and the divine will. This spiritual elevation brings a sense of peace and fulfillment that cannot be found in external circumstances. We come to understand that true elevation comes not from escaping hardship, but from embracing it as part of our spiritual journey. Endurance teaches us humility, another crucial aspect of elevation. In enduring, we realize that we are not in control of everything. Life often takes unexpected turns, and no matter how much we plan or prepare, there will always be challenges beyond our control. This realization humbles us, reminding us of our limitations and encouraging us to surrender to a higher power. Humility, however, does not mean weakness. In fact, it is through humility that we find strength, as we learn to let go of the need for control and trust in the unfolding of life's events. This trust elevates us, allowing us to experience life with a sense of flow rather than resistance. Another way endurance elevates us is by deepening our compassion for others. When we have endured our own struggles, we become more empathetic and understanding of the struggles of others. Endurance teaches us that pain and suffering are universal experiences, and this shared understanding creates a bond of compassion. As we elevate through endurance, we become more attuned to the needs and emotions of those around us, offering support and encouragement to those who are facing their own challenges. This elevation through compassion not only strengthens our relationships with others, but also enriches our own emotional and spiritual lives. Finally, elevation through endurance is a continuous process. It is not something that happens overnight or after a single struggle. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to endure and elevate a little further. Each time we overcome a difficulty, we are elevated to a new level of understanding, resilience, and inner strength. This constant process of elevation through endurance is what allows us to grow into the best versions of ourselves, capable of facing whatever life throws our way with grace, wisdom, and courage. Endurance is the key to elevation. It is through enduring life's challenges that we are able to rise above them, gaining strength, clarity, and wisdom along the way. This elevation is not just about overcoming obstacles, but about transforming ourselves in the process, becoming more aligned with our true purpose and higher self. Through endurance, we are elevated in mind, body, and spirit, ready to face the world with newfound resilience and inner peace. Overcoming limits is a transformative journey that each individual undertakes at various points in their lives. Limits can take many forms: self-imposed barriers, societal expectations, or even the constraints of our environment. They can stem from fears, doubts, and past experiences that hold us back from realizing our true potential. However, the process of overcoming these limits is essential for growth, personal development, and the fulfillment of our purpose. It involves the courageous act of confronting and transcending the boundaries that we or others have placed upon ourselves. The first step in overcoming limits is recognizing them. Many individuals navigate through life without fully understanding the limits they have internalized. These limits can manifest as negative beliefs about oneself, such as "I am not good enough" or "I cannot succeed." Often these beliefs are ingrained from childhood, shaped by external influences, such as parents, peers, or societal norms. Acknowledging these limits is a crucial step because it allows us to confront the narratives that dictate our behaviors and choices. Awareness empowers us to question these beliefs and consider their validity. When we shine a light on our limits, we begin to see them for what they are: mere constructs of the mind that can be dismantled. Once we recognize our limits, we must challenge them. This process involves stepping outside our comfort zones and taking risks. It requires us to confront the fears that often accompany change. Fear is a natural response to the unknown. It keeps us safe, but can also paralyze us. To overcome limits, we must learn to embrace discomfort. Taking small, incremental steps toward our goals can help to build confidence and resilience. As we push through our fears, we may find that the limits we once believed were insurmountable are, in fact, negotiable. Each small victory fuels our determination to continue challenging ourselves. A critical aspect of overcoming limits is the power of mindset. Our thoughts shape our reality, and adopting a growth mindset is essential for personal transformation. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This perspective fosters a love for learning and resilience in the face of challenges. By shifting our mindset from fixed to growth, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. Instead of viewing limits as permanent barriers, we begin to see them as temporary hurdles that can be surmounted. This shift in perspective not only enhances our ability to tackle challenges, but also cultivates a sense of optimism about our potential. Moreover, the support of others plays a significant role in overcoming limits. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who encourage and inspire us can propel us beyond our self-imposed barriers. These supportive relationships provide a safe space to explore our fears and aspirations. They remind us that we are not alone in our struggles, and that collective strength can amplify individual efforts. Engaging with mentors, friends, or communities that share similar goals can foster accountability and motivation. When we share our aspirations and challenges with others, we create a network of support that reinforces our determination to overcome limits. Furthermore, embracing failure as a part of the journey is vital in overcoming limits. Many individuals fear failure and allow it to dictate their actions, leading to stagnation. However, failure is not the opposite of success. It is an integral part of the learning process. Each failure provides invaluable lessons and insights that contribute to our growth. When we learn to view setbacks as stepping stones rather than dead ends, we develop resilience and adaptability. This shift in perspective enables us to bounce back stronger, armed with the knowledge gained from our experiences. By reframing our relationship with failure, we can break free from the constraints of perfectionism and the fear of making mistakes. In addition to these strategies, visualization can be a powerful tool in overcoming limits. By visualizing our goals and the steps required to achieve them, we create a mental blueprint that guides our actions. Visualization helps to build confidence by allowing us to mentally rehearse our desired outcomes. This practice not only enhances focus but also reinforces our belief in our capabilities. When we visualize success, we begin to align our thoughts and actions with our aspirations, making it easier to navigate challenges along the way. As we embark on the journey of overcoming limits, we must also cultivate self-compassion. The process of challenging ourselves can be daunting, and it is essential to be gentle with ourselves during this transformative journey. Acknowledging our progress, celebrating small victories, and practicing self-kindness fosters a positive relationship with ourselves. When we approach our limits with compassion rather than judgment, we create a nurturing environment that encourages growth and exploration. Overcoming limits is an empowering journey that leads to self-discovery and fulfillment. It requires courage, persistence, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. As we confront and dismantle the barriers that have held us back, we uncover the strength and potential that lie within us. This journey not only enriches our lives, but also inspires those around us to embark on their paths of transformation. By embracing the challenge of overcoming limits, we awaken to the boundless possibilities that exist when we dare to dream and take action toward our highest aspirations. In doing so, we not only elevate ourselves, but also contribute to the collective awakening of humanity. Divine redirection is a profound concept that speaks to the transformative power of life's unexpected changes. It is the understanding that sometimes when we face setbacks or detours, it is not merely a coincidence or bad luck, but a deliberate intervention by a higher power guiding us toward a more aligned path. Life can often unfold in ways we least expect, and these moments of redirection can be both unsettling and enlightening. The key lies in recognizing these experiences as divine guidance, leading us toward growth and a more purposeful existence. When we encounter challenges, disappointments, or obstacles, it is natural to feel frustrated or defeated. We often find ourselves clinging to the idea of what we believe our lives should look like based on our plans and expectations. However, it is crucial to shift our perspective and see these moments not as failures, but as opportunities for divine redirection. The truth is that what may seem like a setback could actually be a necessary course correction, prompting us to reassess our goals, desires, and the direction we are headed. Embracing this idea allows us to cultivate a sense of trust in the unfolding of our lives. Divine redirection invites us to let go of rigid attachments to specific outcomes. When we hold on to our plans too tightly, we often miss the signs and signals that life is trying to communicate. It encourages us to adopt a more fluid approach to life, where we remain open to the possibilities that may arise from unforeseen circumstances. This openness allows us to explore paths we may not have considered before, expanding our horizons and potential. By surrendering our need for control, we create space for divine guidance to lead us to where we are truly meant to be. Moreover, divine redirection often provides us with invaluable lessons that contribute to our personal and spiritual growth. Each experience, whether positive or negative, carries within it a teaching moment. In moments of redirection, we may find ourselves gaining insights about our strengths, weaknesses, and values. We learn to develop resilience, patience, and adaptability, essential qualities that serve us well throughout our lives. These lessons shape us into stronger individuals, preparing us for future challenges and equipping us with the wisdom necessary to navigate life's complexities. The process of divine redirection can also illuminate our true purpose. When we allow ourselves to be guided by something greater, we may discover passions and interests we had previously overlooked. These redirections often lead us to align more closely with our authentic selves, revealing pathways that resonate with our core values and aspirations. For instance, a job loss might feel devastating at first, but it can serve as a catalyst for exploring new career opportunities that are more fulfilling and aligned with our purpose. By embracing divine redirection, we open ourselves to discovering new talents and strengths we may not have recognized before. Another essential aspect of divine redirection is the understanding of timing. Life unfolds according to a rhythm that may not always align with our expectations. We often wish for immediate results or quick solutions, but divine timing teaches us the value of patience. There are moments when we must wait for the right circumstances to manifest, and redirection may be the way in which the universe is preparing us for what is to come. During these times, it is important to cultivate faith and trust, believing that everything happens for a reason, and that we are being guided toward the right opportunities at the right time. As we navigate through the experience of divine redirection, it is essential to remain grounded in gratitude. Each redirection, no matter how challenging, carries within it a gift. Practicing gratitude allows us to shift our focus from what we have lost or the discomfort we feel to what we can learn and how we can grow from the experience. Gratitude opens our hearts and minds, enabling us to recognize the blessings hidden within our struggles. It fosters a positive mindset that encourages resilience and hope, paving the way for new beginnings. Divine redirection also serves as a reminder that we are never alone in our journey. Many individuals experience moments of doubt and uncertainty, feeling as though they are navigating life without guidance. However, acknowledging divine redirection reinforces belief that a higher power is always at work in our lives. Whether we see this as God, the universe, or our inner wisdom, recognizing this presence helps us feel supported and guided through our challenges. This connection empowers us to trust the process, knowing that we are part of a greater tapestry of life. Divine redirection is a transformative force that encourages us to embrace the unexpected twists and turns of life. By shifting our perspective, letting go of rigid attachments, and cultivating gratitude, we can navigate these moments with grace and trust. Each redirection serves as a reminder that life is not solely about the destination, but about the journey itself. Through this lens, we discover growth, purpose, and the profound beauty of our unique paths. Embracing divine redirection allows us to walk confidently in faith, knowing that we are being guided toward our highest potential. In conclusion, the journey through adversity is not merely a series of trials to endure, but a sacred path that leads us to deeper understanding and growth. Embracing the concept of divine purpose in our struggles allows us to transform challenges into stepping stones toward our true potential. Each experience of adversity, whether it manifests as divine redirection, a lesson in resilience, or an opportunity for inner strength, serves a higher purpose in our lives. By recognizing the hidden blessings within these moments, we cultivate faith, patience, and an unwavering belief in our ability to overcome limits. As we navigate through life, Let us remember that our struggles are not in vain, they are the catalysts for revelation and elevation. We are invited to embrace the journey, trusting that every setback carries the potential for a comeback. Every challenge brings forth growth, and every moment of doubt can lead to divine clarity. With this understanding, we align ourselves with a higher will, opening our hearts and minds to the transformative power of adversity. Ultimately, let us approach each day with gratitude, courage, and a willingness to see beyond our circumstances. In doing so, we not only empower ourselves but also inspire those around us to recognize the divine purpose within their own struggles. Together, we can create a ripple effect of strength and resilience, affirming that through adversity, we are truly refined, redirected, and reborn into the fullness of who we are meant to be.